The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show, Jack Black is a teenage girl, Danny Glover is a horse, Kevin Hart is like an adventurer type sort of thing,
that's not the one that we're doing. We're doing the Robin Williams one, though.
It isn't?
No.
Oh. Well, fuck. It appears that I've watched entirely the wrong movie. What we're actually talking about is Jumanji from 1995. I'm Reegs.
I'm Maddie. And I'm Bloodaxe.
The triumphant return of Bloodaxe, which is fantastic because this is the official start of Season 4 on the Film Addicts podcast. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Film Addicts podcast, Season 4! It's Season 4, y'all. Welcome. It's beautiful to be here, and I can barely believe it. And yes, that was all a joke at the beginning. I did watch the right movie, don't worry about it. In fact, I literally turned it off about half an hour ago. So I'm ready, Jumanji 1995, but before that... Hello, mate. What's going on?
That's so cute. Hi.
Hey, what are you doing?
I am okay.
You're okay?
Yeah. It's insane that this is season 4. Like, I don't know how.
It's crazy. Yeah. What are we, like 61 episodes in plus a bunch of bonuses? We've done quite well. Yeah, season 4. Absolutely bananas. Had great season 3. Excellent season 3. Did some of our best shows, I think.
Some of our best gags as well.
Yeah, there was quite a few, absolutely. Particularly sort of the back half of the season there had some big fun. Did you want to chat through, some of the episodes really quickly and just sort of like talk about our favourites for the year? Or
absolutely.
I did a lot of X-Men stuff.
We did. And we still want to do more.
Yeah, I want to redo X2, that's for sure. Just because. Maybe we'll do it when the new one comes out and when Doomsday comes out and your main man's in it, Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I'm so excited
for that movie.
No, for Nightcrawler. I'm not excited for Doomsday. Let's make that clear. Yeah.
No, yes. For all of those who want to know how Addy feels about Doomsday, just go onto our We're Doomed bonus episode that we did with Juan and Kike from Till the End of the Line. Addy could not give less of a shit. And that's totally fine. So yeah, we did X-Men 97 and then we did X2. We also did Logan. We did the three-part series on the original Lord of the Rings, which I forgot was called Ring Job Parts 1 to 3. Unbelievable. Amazing. We did a Halloween episode, World War B, which was about the variances in horror movies you can get, one being a huge blockbuster and the other being this quiet little intimate piece with World War Z and Barbarian. We also talked about Wild at Heart, which was a really, really important movie for me last year, just before I went on my trip, and the sort of, Superman episode that was half about the documentary with Christopher Reeve and half about Superman 78, which is excellent. We did the best of 2024 when I got back, which is, some really great stuff came out last year. And I feel like after we did that episode, Anora won the fucking Academy Award for Best Picture. So, and everything else as well. We did the wonderful Ladies and Gentlemen, which was the name of the episode, which was about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is the first episode we did when we finally went weekly. Apologies that we missed that last week. I was ill. Brand New Ford was our episode on the quite good Captain America 4, or whatever it's called. We also did an episode on 7 as well. A couple of bonuses in between there. 2 necessary nerd news and the nerd returns when Addy came back and was feeling better after his health struggles as well. We did a commentary for Jaws. We did a commentary for The Room as well. You can find all of these on Instagram. Instafuck. speaking of Instafuck, we're on there now. There's a dedicated IG page. It's just the Film Addicts Podcast, one word, get on it. But yeah, on our YouTube page or Spotify or wherever you find us, you'll find all of these episodes. Those commentaries are quite fun. We did an episode on The Killer because Addie finally watched it, even though I had to nearly go to your home country and hold a gun to your head, which would have been quite apt considering what that movie's about. And we did, that great episode with Till the End of the Line guys. That was one of my favourite sort of team-ups with them to talk about Doomsday News. And our last episode of Season 3 was Raise Hell, which was about the fantastic film Constantine, which just got a 4K re-release. What was your favourite episode of last year? Because I know mine.
Don't put that on me. I'll give top two.
Top two. Okay, we'll do a top two. Let's do a top three. Fuck it. It's our show. We can do whatever we please. Yeah. Top. We'll do 3, 2, 1. So you go 3.
Okay. For 3, I'm gonna go Ring Job as a whole. It's not.
Whatever you're into, mate. Whatever you're into.
Yeah, because I can't believe that we finally did Lord of the Rings on the show.
Yeah, it was good. It was such a great rewatch too, going back and revisiting those. They're so well put together, those movies. I really, really, really enjoyed the Wild at Heart episode because that was the film that took me by surprise this year. You said go and see it because I want to do an episode, and I love you. So I said absolutely, and I'll do anything for you. And it was really important that I saw that movie at that particular time, considering that I was just about to leave on my trip, and it's about the wilderness and which is where I was away, and it's also about, facing your fear and understanding that it's not about purging that. It's a necessary thing to have that, to jump without the rope, so to speak. Yeah, it was a really beautiful episode. Number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me is Wild at Heart as well.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to seeing it in theaters, mainly because the timing was so fucked. But then one day it was at 8:00 in the morning, and I went, and imagine seeing that the first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's a weird time to watch that movie. Yeah, that's a weird time to watch it. I think I did mine in the afternoon, and it was quite pleasant. But yeah, 8 in the morning. I remember when I was doing the Stitch Up, and I had to I didn't have to. I chose to do the Halloween episode on the Scream movies, where I did a marathon of the Scream movies. And in order to get them done in the amount of time that I needed to edit and then get the release ready for Halloween, I had to watch them kind of almost in a row. So I watched 2 one night and then watched 3 the following day. But I was watching Scream 3 at 9:00 in the morning with a cup of coffee, and it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's not a movie that you watch in the daytime, It's just very, very strange. Anyway, my number 2 is probably the X2 episode, only because it was so it was such a long time coming to get really, really in the weeds on that one, and it came at a really, really specific time as well, after X-Men 97 had come out, and a lot of things were happening in the media about sort of trans rights and just the LGBTQIA plus community stuff that they were dealing with, particularly in the States, with what would end up being the pending re-election of that fucking ginger twit, and it just sort of it just felt, again, timely. These things come along when they're supposed to. So,
absolutely.
What about you? What's your number 1? Drum roll. Brrrr.
Oh man, fuck it. My number 1 is Killer Queen because of the shit that happens in that episode.
I know, that it has to be said. I was going to say for my first, it was probably The Room-mentary, because that's not what it's called. It's called The Room, a Film Addicts Commentary. When you add mentary to the end of something, Regan, it's what they do on the fucking We Hate Movies. Only because I was so unprepared for how fucking ridiculously shit that movie is. It was, it wasn't even bad good. I think that's why people watch it, but for me, it's just about, it is bad. And when you told me how much it cost, I nearly fucking got whiplash. It's just, I'm sorry, how much money got spent on that film? Because I don't know what the cocaine budget was for it, but it must have been a lot because that is a piece of shit. But yeah, Killer Queen was so unhinged. Even when Johnny promoted it, JP, our composer, everybody, love you, mate, is getting married in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. I was at a gig on the weekend shooting, and he was there. He was one of the musicians in the band, and he was just talking about his missus. And afterwards, my camera assistant Alex was like, "I want someone to talk about me like that." Like, he's a sweet guy. But anyway, I'll be there, Johnny. I'm filming his wedding. So, but anyway, he put up like the promo post, for us, and he was like, it gets a little bit wild, like it gets a little bit crazy, and it was. And I also have to shout out my friend Charlie, who I caught up with the other day. She's an actress friend of mine, supremely talented young woman, and we were talking about the show. I was talking about doing this, and that we were doing Jumanji, and that she likes Jumanji. She didn't know I was doing the show, so she hadn't listened to it, and she said, "Oh, why don't you send me an episode and I'll have a listen?" I was trying to think of which one I could send that would be like a decent gauge of who we are as a pod, which isn't extremely, I don't know, rude or whatever. Like, I don't know. She said she was fine with whatever, but I was like, I'll send you the Jumanji one because that'll make more sense. So, hey, Charlie, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, she's very cool. We're working on a project together. Should be very, very fun. Yeah, so that's kind of my number one as well. What a hell of a season we had, pal.
I will forever cherish the memory of seeing you watch The Room for the first time.
It'll never not be weird.
And now
it'll never not be weird.
And now it's yours to show to anybody else you want.
It's also, I can't not have seen it, which is sort of more the problem, I feel. I can't take that away. You can't subtract that experience.
It's like puberty. It's like puberty. Somebody has to, everybody has to at least go through it once.
Yeah, you're right. And sometimes twice.
Sometimes 7 times, which is the amount of times I've watched it.
That's just such a commitment of time that I can't get behind. But anyway,
listen, my theory. No judgments. My theory is every time somebody watches The Room for the first time, or just watches The Room
an angel
in general,
gets its wings.
No, there's a decade and a half added to Tommy Wiseau's life, and everybody needs Tommy Wiseau. The world needs Tommy Wiseau. A
decade and a half? That seems extreme. If every time someone watched that movie, he gets a decade and a half, he's going to live till he's like a billion, because that movie is popular for all the wrong reasons. For all the reasons that he doesn't understand that it's popular for, by my estimation as well. So anyway,
no, he does. He just chooses to be above it.
Yeah, I mean the dude is aloof. Like in the extreme, I've never seen somebody so less committed to being awake. When you see him emote, it's like, are you... Like, he's not even high or anything. He's just not there. He's so vacant. Anyway, go and listen to a Film Addicts podcast commentary, The Room, everybody. It's very, very excellent. Shall we get on with the fucking show?
Yeah, we should.
Awesome. Season 4, motherfuckers. Let's get into it. What are we...
I don't know, watching?
Where's all that sass coming from? This is your show too, motherfucker. Like, you chose to be here.
I'm sorry. In my head, right. I was like, I will do it. And then as soon as I was thinking about it, you said it.
Why do you think I jumped in? For those who aren't regular listeners, Charlie, Addy, I started that. What are we? And then he would say watching, and then he started jumping in and doing it first, and it would confuse me because I don't like change.
Because it falls out of your pocket?
Hysterical. Thanks. And on that dad joke, cue the music. What are we watching? What are we watching? What have we been watching? Did you watch all of the show that we talked about? I've got it abbreviated now. I can't think of it. Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, that's right.
You've obviously watched it all. I fucking love it.
But before we continue, I want to go back to change because something happened 2 days ago.
Okay.
Change that falls. Change that falls out of your pocket.
Yeah, right.
I had to pay for coffee or something. I forget because it was so dramatically insane what happened. So I opened up my wallet and I paid. And when I closed it upside down. As soon as I turned it to keep it in my pocket, all my changes fell out. And it's not
cling 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 cling.
It's not like 10s or 15s. It's all ones, and it's hard. Right. It's hard to get them up because I don't have fucking long nails anymore.
That's the only reason to have long nails is to be able to pick stuff up, in my estimation, or to pick your nose or your bum, whatever you're into. Can I ask you a question?
We are sending this to somebody who hasn't listened to the show yet.
She'll be fine. She'll be all right. You know, I might get a phone call. That show was really good, but you're insane on the internet as well. I'm insane in person, so it's, you know, that's what's up. My question was, are you a millennial technically?
Well, technically, yeah, because I'm 2003.
Yeah, okay. Are you the only millennial who has a fucking wallet?
Okay, shut the fuck up,
everyone that I see, it's all like, no, I'm not dissing you, man. I've got a wallet too. I've got a billfold. Fucking forget about it. My phone does not even have cards on it. You know how people can pay like the electronic card on their phone, and that's how you see youth do it? You're going to have to move it over. I can't see it properly. You got an Angry Birds wallet as well? You fucking are a millennial. I think that's a millennial starter kit. You get that, a tattoo that doesn't mean anything, and this strange sense of entitlement as well. Let's get those things, and anger at your boomer parents for destroying the planet.
Well,
which is fair up to a point, but you need to remember that they didn't grow up with half of the information that we currently have. So if the world is still a piece of shit, then maybe it's on us now. Anyway, I like your wallet. Oh,
this is my house key there. Okay. It says popcorn.
That's cool. I've got a little Jaws key ring on mine, and everybody laughs at me when I go to the pool. Like, do you like Jaws and swimming? I'm like, yeah, there's no shark in the pool. Like, I'm not... If there was, I wouldn't go in. If there was even a threat of there being a shark in this pool, I wouldn't go in. If someone said, you know, today it's Wednesday, it's shark day off, so there's no shark in the pool, I'm not risking it. It might not know. It doesn't know. Like, how does a shark know what day it's supposed to work? And what kind of job is that? Like, being in a kiddie pool. It's not a kiddie pool, but there's usually a lot of children in there, like, doing swimming lessons. Like, why would they employ a shark to swim around in there unless it was to eat some of them? You know, unless population control or something.
Unless it's like Maui and he's like half shark, half Maui, like in Moana.
In my head, that's not the case. In my head, it's the ones from Godfather. Godfather? Imagine if there were sharks in Godfather Part 2. That's amazing.
That would be...
Mother Santa, you come to me, you said... Actually, I'm only in the first one. I'm not in the second one. You only see me in flashback, and I'm Robert De Niro. I'm not Marlon Brando. But I'll continue this impression because I haven't done Brando on the show before, but this is how he looks. Oh, I love oranges. Anyway, what was I talking about? There's not a shark in this movie.
Sorry. The sharks in Gladiator 2 was what I was trying to say.
I was trying to say the same thing, but that was amazing.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. That was fucking absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Never mind. There's no sharks in the pool I go to. Where were we? Let's go back to what were we watching?
Yes.
So Daredevil Born Again. You were, for everybody, you can just go and read our reviews. They're on our individual pages, and you can, you know, have a look at what we thought in total. But give me the abridged version of the end without spoiling anything.
Well, I was right when I texted you and said episode 3 is probably the best the show will ever get, and it stands true.
Yeah, you feel like that's the case? Yeah.
Yep.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Episode 8 is great.
I'm really excited. I also felt leaving on a cliffhanger that's good. That's good business. Like, I'm pumped for, you know, to see it again this time next year. Shadowland style or whatever it ends up being, whatever that series was after Brubaker left and Andy Diggle took over. Yeah, it's I fucking love Daredevil. I'm in it. I'm in it for all of it. And having Frank back, even though he was slightly more bloodthirsty than he probably needed to be in a Daredevil show. Like, I understand maybe you want him to be more bloodthirsty in his own show or the own special that they're going to do, whatever the situation might be. But yeah, excellent. What else have you been watching? Tell me things.
So I did this weird thing where I watched the entirety of I rewatched the entirety of The Good Place in a week. That's 4 seasons.
I was going to say, like, how many episodes per season?
Well,
Like 12?
yeah, it's 13. So 13.
Okay, I honestly do not know where you find the time.
I don't know.
Like, it took me 2 weeks to just see episode 7 of Daredevil. I just watched, episode 8 of Daredevil. I watched them back to back, like 8 and 9, and then did the reviews. Because I was just, I swamped for time. So where do you...
I don't know.
And you're schooling and everything. Every time I talk to you, you're busy.
Maybe I should study more.
You should study more. Nah, not at all. So yeah, what else have you been watching apart from? Sorry, it's The Good Place. Why do you watch that? Sorry, is there something specific about it you like?
I was thinking about doing a rewatch. And then one of my favorite YouTube channels started reacting to it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just watch the episodes as the reactions come out, which is weekly. And then I hit the tipping over point where they had reacted to like 6 episodes, and I started 7, and then I didn't stop.
Yeah. That sometimes that takes hold like that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a really fun show. Ted Danson is fucking insane with his comedy
Good old
chops.
Ted.
Amazing, but the entire cast is great, except for one, but I'm not gonna name them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that kind of has to do with mainly the character, and the actor has now taken on that persona, which is it's weird in different ways that I don't want it to be weird in. And that's insane coming.
Isn't it a show about like an afterlife that you kind of work in?
Not entirely, but it is a show about afterlife.
Yeah,
But
right.
it's also a show that teaches you like ethics and
Macrame.
yeah. I think you'll really like it. I don't know what the fuck that means. I am sorry.
It's just not teaching macrame or macrame, whatever it is. That's that rope art stuff. Not shibari, not the sexy Japanese tiesy upsies stuff. Not that one. This is a different one. This is where you put ropes together and hang them on your wall. I have some in the other room.
Also, fuck you for making fun of me not knowing a word.
I didn't make fun of you not knowing the word. I said it thinking that you might think it was funny. That I wasn't like throwing the joke out to diss you because he's not going to know what the fuck this means.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I wouldn't sandbag you like that. You're my partner.
Well, thank you.
I did have to explain the other day when I was talking about the show and like the difference between us in age and how the opening gambit of any conversation about this show has to be, I didn't groom him. Sorry, you're talking to... Because at the time we started, you were, what, 18, 19?
Yeah, I think I was 18.
Yeah, and I would have been, like, just before I turned 40.
Yeah.
That's sus. Like, you're on the internet, you're in another country. You know what I mean? Like, it could be really weird. It's absolutely not everybody. Like, it's a beautiful, friendship that just happens to be electronic in nature. But yeah, there was no... You groomed me.
Excuse me.
I've been groomed. I didn't realize it. That's ridiculous. You were like, hey, you want to write some reviews? And anyone says to me, anyone ever goes to me, hey, you want to write ... It's like, whatever it is. Yep, absolutely. A porno about my own mum. I'll do it. Sure. No worries. I'll write that. Like, it's just, I mean, she wouldn't be in it. Someone would be playing her, but it'd be like the light. Oh my God. Okay. Like the story of my mum's life, but as an erotic movie. I didn't think we'd get there today. Okay. I'm just saying, whenever anyone says to me, do you want to write something? The answer is usually yes, because I love having writing assignments. The point is, I don't know what the point is. Oh, God. Sorry, everybody. All right. Like, listeners know that this is... They expect this of me now. It's fine. Don't worry about it, Riggs. It's just the internet forever. What the fuck were we even talking about? Yeah, no, you got in touch with me and you were like, hey, do you want to write these reviews about Hawkeye? Anyway, that's the point. So what else have you been watching apart from The New Place?
It's called The Good Place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, did you hear my hesitance to say The New Place? Yeah.
I rewatched Knives Out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So
That's the first one?
yeah, with Chris Evans.
Yeah, and Glass Onion's the second
Yeah.
one. Okay, yeah.
Pretty fucking cool, man. Still pretty fucking cool.
It's a good mystery, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Evans is awesome. Ana de Armas is awesome.
Oh, fucking forget about it with Ana de Armas. Like, I just can't. I can't with her on the planet Earth. Like, it's just, there's too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? It's like, whoever the creator is must have looked down and go, I'm done. That's it. Tools down. I can't. If I even try to get any better than that, I'm going to fuck it up. It's just Ana. She's the top, and then everybody else on down. What an absolute babe. And she's an excellent actress. She's like really solid as well. Cool. So, are you watching it in preparation for the new one that's coming out? I don't even know when that releases.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just wanted to watch it because one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema is Chris Evans saying "eat shit" to every cast member in the scene. And
that was his first film post Cap as well, like post ending his run as Cap. It was just kind of perfect. And fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, so great in that.
Yeah,
it's a really solid movie. I didn't mind Glass Onion either. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I didn't mind Glass Onion either. I just think it's too real at times.
Well, sort of like the tech billionaire.
Yep, and like the COVID shot thing as well.
Yeah, that's true. I fucking forgot about that. It's funny. I was speaking to Charlie the other day, and she's an actress, and she was saying, like, whenever she goes out to do like student movies now, 9 times out of 10 they're about people who've written stuff about the pandemic. I'm like, well, I guess it makes sense. You know, in the 1970s, like early 1970s, all of the filmmakers were making, you know, pictures that, if not directly related to Vietnam, were allegorical of that subject. You know, I just feel like it's, you know, that's why there was all that sort of like weird, if you look back on it, a little bit kind of profile-y stuff that came up post 9/11 about terrorism. You know, if you think about the movies of that time, like, or the TV shows like Homeland, Kingdom, Rendition, like all of this stuff was dealing with the Middle East, Body of Lies, The Hurt Locker, like all of that, those war pictures. It was really, we are so much more products of our environment than our environment is products of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm having a really good conversation. It's good to be back.
Well, you're gonna have a better conversation because the next one I watched was Grant Morrison talking with gods.
Tell me what you thought. The documentary is shit. Like, it's so badly produced, but the information that it contains is excellent.
My favorite part about this documentary is you can't ever tell when it's shot. Because it could be scenes from the 2000s and it could be scenes from yesterday. You don't know.
Yeah. As Grant's a little bit ageist like that as well. He's kind of, he's an interesting character. There's also another one called Captured Ghosts, which is about Warren Ellis, who's a wonderful writer, but is also a little bit of a creep, so it's hard to watch now. But Grant Morrison is, and I've probably talked about him on the show before, he is an incredibly important person in my creative life. He's like up there with people like Spielberg and Hunter S. Thompson, people who had a profound effect on me, and his work, as singular and individual as is to him, and his understanding of not only the superhero genre but how it relates to us. He even wrote a book about it. Super Gods is one of the best books you'll ever read. Like, he just has a control of the language, and he's always been a writer. You know, he was 4 or 5 years old when he told his mum he was going to be a cartoon writer or a comic book writer. And yeah, he's got that fantastic interview with Kevin Smith you can find on YouTube that's like 4 hours long, where he goes into his own mystical experiences and magic and all that stuff, but also just his theories on writing. He's the one who famously said that you know, Batman as a character is interesting because he fights death, whereas Superman fights the impossible, and Batman's struggle is you know, more of an internal one. And he also said that Batman, the reason he has all these people around him is because the first time he became Batman is, you know, the moment he became Batman, he asked for help when he's, you know, sitting bleeding and waiting after getting beat up, you know, for the first time going out on patrol without the bat costume because he didn't know yet. And he's sitting there bleeding, and he's got the bell, and he says, if I ring this bell, this is all in year 1, if I ring this bell, Alfred will come and he'll sew up my wounds and I'll live, but I'm going to sit here and bleed out until I know what to do. Father, send me a sign. And a bat comes through the window and he's like, yes, Father, I'll become a bat. And then he rings the bell. So the moment he becomes Batman, he asks for assistance. You know, he's not this lonely, broken character. He's this guy who goes out there and deals with his trauma. Like he takes the childhood thing that destroyed him and he turns it into strength. Like that's the proper Batman. But yeah, Grant's exceptional. He's so productive. Like I would just kill to be as productive as he is. Like I can't sit down at a computer for 8 hours or 12 hours the way that he does. Yeah, remarkable human being. I've also realized that I've been referring to Grant as him for this last couple of minutes. It's they, them. So apologies to all your Grant Morrison fans out there and Grant himself as well. Grant, please be listening and give me a call. I would love to talk to you about Chaos Magic and the Liam Sharp and your run on Green Lantern, which is just the best. Sorry, I completely hijacked that. Tell me how you feel about him and about the show. Like, do you have a little bit more of appreciation or?
Yeah, I loved everything that Grant talked about. It's weird because I've never consumed his work, their work, and I've only heard about their work through you. But watching the documentary, I could see Grant's influence on you, and like the way that you talk is kind of the way that Grant talks. That's something that I picked up. Right, that's probably not true, but like yeah, I watched that and then I ordered All-Star Superman. Because I wanted to.
That's a fucking great place to start as far as his work is concerned. It's really, really good. It's the most spiritually enriched, like with his spirit, enriched piece of work on Superman I think anyone's ever done. It's so loving and faithful to the concept of Superman and what he stands for and what he represents and what he could be and what he could be in all of us. Yeah, he has such a... You know, because he grew up at a time where, you know, he was living across the bay from a fucking place where they were making nuclear weapons and stuff. Like all the American soldiers came in and he was there as well. But they also brought comics. Like, so what can destroy the bomb? You know, what's scarier than the bomb is Superman. He can walk out and his cape isn't even singed. You know, like it really, superhero comics informed his life in a really particular way. And even his really early work like Zenith that he did for 2000 AD, which was a series, is you know, it's one of the first big kind of comic book things that happened in that particular publication. It was all sci-fi before that. And yeah, and then Animal Man is incredible. The Invisibles is great. I've got all these omnibuses just sitting right there. His run on Batman is absolutely legendary. JLA as well. His solo stuff has been really great. Annihilator is awesome. Yeah, he's done some really wonderful work. I highly recommend everyone go out and get some Grant Morrison in your life, or just listen to that episode of Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith where they talk about superhero stuff and Grant's history and all the mystical experiences he's had, and he's just a joyful person to hear talk. And yeah, his writing informs a lot of what I do. It's very lyrical, it's very poetic, and he's very measured in the way that he speaks. Yeah, he's him and Hunter S. Thompson probably had the most effect on the way that I like writing and the way that I like to describe things and have things sound. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, sorry, we're getting absolutely distracted here by my love of Grant. Have you watched anything else?
Yeah, because quickly I watched X-Men Last Stand. Fucking love it. Beast is in it. That's all that matters.
He is. The big blue motherfuck. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's my favorite X-Men.
And then I watched, which is, I am now confident in saying, is the best Mission Impossible film of all time. It is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It is just incredibly amazingly well done.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the Macquarie films are probably, of its time, the best action film during that period. You know, not Rogue Nation, Fallout is probably in the top 10 best action movies of all time. It is absolutely seamless, and it's so... Tommy actually just sent me a link recently about how they make these movies, where they kind of start them without knowing where it's going to end. And I was like, yeah, that's business for you. And he's like, yeah, but imagine the creativity that would have to go on every day in order to make that happen. Like the spontaneous creativity, which is what creativity generally is, you know, like the ideas clutched from a moment as opposed to the long thought out process, like the really juicy stuff. So yeah, that's cool. What is it about Rogue Nation that makes you just feel like, yeah, this is the business out of all of those movies that you have to pick from?
I don't know. I think it's the enhanced, or well, not enhanced. That's the wrong word. It's all
enhance.
It's
so just from Super Troopers. Keep going.
I think it's the relationship with Ethan and his team, that for so long they're separated, and then you root for them getting back with each other, and it's like, also it has the best Mission Impossible opening sequence of all time. The motherfucker's on a plane that takes off. Yeah,
it's that one. Yeah, very cool. I think the continuity of them all kind of kicks in a little bit harder there as well. Like, I mean, there's, you know, Ghost Protocols, Cover People and all that stuff, but it just feels like that one is the one that's like, oh, okay, we're really part of a whole now, like, you know, the returning villains and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. That's totally fair.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Also, I absolutely love the fact how they make it is that Tom Cruise comes up with some weird shit that he wants to do, which is a stunt, and then Christopher McQuarrie is like, okay, let me write something around it to make it make sense, because that's how I run my D&D games. My initial idea was to make a city fall, and then I created like an entire story to have that happen.
Would you like to hear what I've been watching?
Yes, please take it away.
Good. I watched me some good shit. In particular, I went to the Cameo in Belgrave, God bless, my favourite place, and saw a double bill. It wasn't listed as a double bill. They didn't program it as a double bill. I went and made it a double bill by going to see both of them. So they did a retro of Aladdin, the original, with Robin Williams, funnily enough, and it's just perfect. It's such a perfect movie. I love it so much. There's a few lines in there that still kill me, like this is my royal vizier Jafar. He's excited as well. Ecstatic, like just couldn't give a shit. And the line at the end, which always makes me think of Robin, "You'll always be a prince to me." I welled up. I can't not. So beautiful. And then later that day, they were doing another retro of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, which I'd never seen at the cinema before. I was too young when it came out. And it was a fucking joyful occasion to see both of those again on and to see Willy Wonka on the big screen. And I forgot how many like little funny asides he has to kind of himself, the Willy Wonka character, and how kind of crazy he is. Like, you know, when he's in the room and there's Veruca Salt's dad, and he's like, "This is all nonsense," and he leans into him and says and goes, "A little nonsense now and then is treasured by the wisest men." And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to use that all the time now. So yeah, that was mine. And also I watched a film called Knight of Cups, which is a Terrence Malick picture. Terrence Malick, the fantastic filmmaker who he made a few films in his youth, you know, Badlands and stuff, which were kind of normal. But then after he made The Thin Red Line, which is a Vietnam War picture with a huge, stunning cast, he kind of started making these really interesting and introspective, like, visual poems, but they're feature-length movies. So there's like there's a basic thread of a story. There's no plot, and it's just actors kind of behaving and ad-libbing, and The Tree of Life is kind of like that. It's got a little bit of that in it. There's a lot of voiceover, and it sort of flips around through time and all that stuff. But when he did To the Wonder, Knight of Cups, and then Song to Song was sort of these three kind of, experimental pieces. And Knight of Cups is by far the best. It's really, really beautiful. It's about a screenwriter who's kind of losing his marbles after, you know, a string of bad relationships kind of thing. And it's all centered around the tarot. So yeah, it was really, really good to kind of revisit that. And I just love his style, and I realize how much it informs the way that I shoot things, like long extended takes, wider lenses, you know, kind of letting events just happen and take place. There's not a lot of cutting, and if there is, it's to another subject. It's not necessarily within the same scene. And the acting is the style of that's really interesting, and yeah, I love it. If anybody wants to just kind of feel something and not have to don't go into it like trying to work it out. You just kind of got to let it be what it is. Knight of Cups. It's really good. I think it came out in 2015. It's got Christian Bale in it, Kate Blanchett, Antonio Banderas, Natalie Portman, Imogen Potts. Yeah, just really beautiful. Anyway, do you want to talk about what the fuck's been going on up in the nerd place with all them news?
We should.
So let's get the big one out of the way. Trailer for Fantastic Four, First Steps. What do you think?
It is fan-fucking-tastic.
Looks pretty good. I'm excited.
I have a weird theory about this. I feel like the purple, like, big head and, like, the footsteps at the end that we see, I think that's Franklin Richards.
It's Galactus, isn't it?
Are you sure?
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing I know. We do find out that she's pregnant in it, at least, at the very least. And how the whole thing is going to be about these people have been charged as protector, but they're also just people, which is kind of the point, like that's always kind of the point of this superhero stuff. So, and having someone be pregnant is a very real thing to happen. So it looks good. We've been introduced to Silver Surfer, which I'm sure the internet's having a fucking conniption fit about. Because it's a fucking woman. Damn woman. You can't have a woman. Silver nude. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? It sucks having a fucking, character be changed and not be exactly what you want, because that would be giving you everything you want in the world, which is what should happen, right? Fucking ridiculous.
Also, excuse me, that's not the same. That's not Norrin Radd. Like, she's not playing Norrin Radd. She's playing Shia LaBeouf, I'm pretty sure. Those are two different characters.
Yeah, I mean that, but even so, I mean, like people aren't gonna make that distinction. They're gonna
that
be
is
like,
true.
No, it's fucking Silver Surfer, whatever. Grow up. I think it looks good. We've kind of seen a little taste of everybody's powers now as well. The setting is really specific, and it's they're celebrities, which has also been the most interesting part of those characters, and was definitely the most interesting part of the original films that were made by Tim Story. So yeah, I'm game. I'm on board for it.
Yeah, I love the thing so much. Like I love that we finally saw Reed stretch, or if you want to call it Reed reach. Yeah, I love how practical the thing looks, and I'm so excited. But yeah, it's also like a week before Superman.
Yeah, but I mean that's what. Remember, I mean they're not polar opposites like that, but at least they're kind of, well, I mean, thematically they're a little different, but they're both superhero movies. Anyway, the Barbie and Oppenheimer thing, like, they'll do better because people want to see both to compare them. Like, it's going to be a rising tide serves all ships, I think we should...
I'll get that tattooed on my chest.
Not put them in competition. It's like, it's beautiful that they're both there. Get that tattooed on your head.
On my chest.
Okay, you can get it tattooed on your head if you want. Whatever you're into. I'm going to get a big 4 on mine. So yeah, and the other trailer that came out is the trailer for Life of Chuck, starring Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill, Karen Gillan, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Matthew Lillard, directed by Mike Flanagan, based on a story by Stephen King. Did you see the trailer for this? It looks fucking beautiful.
I did not see the trailer, but I did see the poster, and it looks good.
Have a look at the trailer. I mean, it's really, really special. Like, it's going to be something. It's got a real Walter Mitty feel. Like, it's somewhere between Walter Mitty and which we will do an episode on this season, everybody. That and
La La Land.
Dr. Sleep, actually, just in terms of its aesthetics. The kind of thing that Mike likes to do, and we're huge fans of Mike here. Everybody, you all know that if you're a regular listener. We did 4 episodes on him back in Halloween of 2023. So excellent. I can't wait for it. Do check it out, and then we can talk about it more properly. This one's just interesting to me. I don't have any feelings about it. Sean Levy is directing a Star Wars film. Sean Levy, the director of Deadpool and Wolverine and a bunch of other ones. And it's been announced that he will be making a Star Wars film with Ryan Gosling. It's called Starfighter, and it's set 5 years after the end of the last trilogy, so Rise of Skywalker. And it's a standalone film. Cool. I mean, that sounds good. If it's fucking Top Gun in space and it's Ryan Gosling, Yes. The answer is yes. That would be very cool. I know you're not a huge Star Wars person, but how do you feel about that?
I am not. I also really do not give a fuck about Sean Levy's Star Wars film. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. He's a bit of a workhorse. Like, it's not, he doesn't have a, he's not Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
You're not getting behind his films because there's a real vision there.
Yeah, that is true. Although his Adam project has a good movie.
And finally, there's going to be an animated prequel of the John Wick films, and it will follow the John Wicks as he kills off all of his rivals in one night to earn the right to be with his wife Helen and not be a hitman anymore. It's that impossible task that he gets set, that is spoken of in the first film, that, you know, set him an impossible task that he could know that there was no way that he could complete it, and he did. Obviously, Keanu's coming back to do the voice, which is cool. Fucking do that every other week, and I'll watch one. I love the John Wick character, so that's going to be very awesome.
Is that a show or a film? Sorry?
It's an animated thing, so it's probably going to be like a direct-to-DVD or a straight-to-streaming or something like that, but I think it is a feature. So, with no further ado, it's Jumanji from 1995, directed by Joe Johnston, who would go on to direct bunch of stuff, including The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro, and Captain America, and some other stuff. I think he did Gremlins from memory, or Toy Soldiers, all those ones. And it's wonderful. It was such a good revisit. It's been a while. I feel like it still really holds up, especially considering we've had 2 other Jumanji pictures as well. More recently, the ones that I was joking about at the start, which are quite fun. Fun adventure pictures. They're very different than this, but yeah, I think it's really cool. What's your experience with this film? Like, what's your history with it?
Wait, hold on. What? Joe Johnston did The Rocketeer?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love The Rocketeer.
I do too. That's like, I've never heard anybody else talk about The Rocketeer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's one of my faves, honestly. There's 3 around about the same time that all came out. There's The Rocketeer, The Shadow with Alec Baldwin, and The Phantom with Billy Zane, and they all came out within a few years of each other. And it's a really good double bill because all those sort of action-adventure stars work well together. There's a matinee kind of feel to them, and they're all set roughly in the same time period as well. Can't be missed.
Incredible. Well,
yeah.
Okay. So I watched Jumanji when I was really small. Like, it was a time where I first watched The Lord of the Rings. So like I've known parts of the film, but I've watching it 2 nights ago. It felt different. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but it not only was it the first time I actually watched it completely, but it was also it's the adventure part of it, and the fact that it's a fish out of water story who's just trying to get out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The ending is a whole nother beast because that one will make you cry.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that, honestly. We're gonna spoil it, everybody, but yeah, where it all resets and goes back to Alan and Sarah as kids, and he goes back and starts again, and then grows up and ends up running the shoe company and meets the 2 children who don't remember the adventure. It's quite a ballsy ending, honestly, to do that to your audience.
I love the effects of it. That's a weird thing to say about Jumanji, but I love the effects of it because they look so real sometimes. And then there's the monkeys that are just uncanny.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great marrying of... I'm sure everyone can hear that bird. There's some really great marrying of practical effects with the CG stuff. So even when it starts as a CG character, sometimes it'll then go to being practical. The lion's a good example of that. Also the vines, and then the huge big pod, that looks like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. So great. And just the effect that it has on everything, its effect that it has on the town and how practical they went with it, the monsoon and all that stuff. Yeah, it's really one of those beautiful movies that does blend those two disciplines really well. Like the ones they do now, I doubt there's any practical stuff going on in there.
It's seeing this and then seeing how they have made the new Jumanji movies. It's a really big letdown, because the legacy of at least this film is like the tangibility of the danger and the game coming to life. Because you play the game and you're not transported in it unless you're Alan Parrish, who perishes into the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's fucking haunting, right? Like, there's some kids' movies that are fucked up and they don't make that type of kids' movie anymore, like Gremlins and stuff. Getting sucked into a board game in that particular scene where it's a lot of screaming and the music's really intense as well. Like Howard Shore, R.I.P., just fucking wrote a banger score, but it's a score to a horror movie for most of it. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's James Horner.
James Horner, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Yeah, fantastic score by James Horner.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I was like, because Howard Shore is very much still alive, and he also did the Lord of the Rings. So I was really confused. I thought I saw the wrong movie.
Totally my bad. Yeah, no, I got my guys mixed up. Getting sucked into the game is severely fucked up.
Yeah, and the music of it it's so like, it's so what a kid would imagine going into a video game or like a board game would be like. It's very at points it's very comical, but when it really hits hard, like when he goes and sees the abandoned factory when he comes out. And when he goes and sees his parents' grave, it's really emotional. Yeah,
it's the part in Back to the Future 2 where they go back to the altered timeline and his parents and his dad's dead. It's for real. But yeah, it is really, like, there's some really funny lines as well. Like mostly Sarah gets them. Like she says,
that's true.
Just to. What are you laughing at?
No, I remember when they're going to the town and she's the three monkeys riding a police motorcycle.
Yeah.
And then she asked Judy, you saw three monkeys driving a motorcycle too, right? And she said yes, and she's like, good girl. Like,
good girl, yeah. It's so good. Or where he's like Alan's really mad at Peter for trying to cheat and getting turned into a monkey at first. And he says, just ignore him, Peter. He's a Libra.
Oh, yeah.
This is such a weird thing. But I think my favorite is like where he's talking about the hunter. And he's like, why is he after him? And he's like, I don't know. Everything about me he finds offensive. You'd think it'd be a waste of his time.
Oh my God. That's like literally modern day trolls though.
Yeah. No, that's so funny because I thought the same thing. Like it's so petty. Like I understand the stakes are a little bit high because he's got a rifle, but it's just there's a pettiness to it that I love. And the other one is great where the character of Soul Man, he's a cop now in this new reality, and the Vine takes his car. And he's like, fine, take it. It's so great. Oh fuck. Yeah, so anyway, to sort of come back to Jumanji of it, I love how you never know the origin of the game. Like, you've got this cold open where the kids are burying it, and it's like, may God have mercy on their souls. Like, because they're 18 timey times. It's like 1896 or whatever. 1869, I thought it was a sexy year. And where the supernatural powers of it come from, it's just this fucking weird cursed thing, and they never explain it. They never go, oh, this is where it came from, or, in the new ones, they don't go, this is how it became a video game as opposed to being a board game. It doesn't, like, the evil they don't tell you how it transferred or where it originated. I like that a lot.
I think, like, going back now, like, watching Jumanji and then comparing it to, like, the Rock Jumanji, the sense of danger isn't there as much because it plays very much like an actual video game. It's not rolling dice and shit, and I love rolling dice.
Of course you do. You're a doll ricer. I mean,
what the fuck did you say?
I called you a doll ricer. What I meant was you're a roll dicer, but that doesn't make any sense either. You like dice.
I dice.
That's my favourite line in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, where she's like, what do you do? And he goes, I'm retired. I invented dice when I was a kid. There's a downy, like really dry delivery as well. Anyway, yeah, I love the cold open, but then I love the extended cold open, this 20-minute sequence, which introduces Alan and his world, and it's in 1969, and his trouble with his dad and the bullies, and maybe going to fucking military school or whatever the hell it is, and then he finds this game because the game calls you from using its drums, the thump 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 thump, and he's got this thing, and he kind of accidentally starts playing with Sarah. And then he gets sucked into the game and boom, it's a different movie. It's a different cast. It's a different timeline. And it's 26 years later. And you're just like, hang on a minute. And there is nothing telling you that Alan's going to come back. It's like, the first kill in a horror movie. They're not necessarily connected to the core cast. Like in the first Halloween movie, I think the first person that Mike Myers kills is one of the nurses in the institution that he's in. Apart from when he kills his sister when he's younger, but when he's a full-grown man and he escapes, it's that first kill is always the one that is only tangentially related to what the actual story is going to be. But in this, it's the kid gets, fucked off and the girl runs away screaming. You don't know she's going to come back, and she's got all this trauma that she's trying to deal with, and that she's been completely shunned by the town, and because they think she's a fucking kook. Like none of that comes across in these first few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am not kidding. I legit, like when it turned and it was Kirsten Dunst, I legit picked up my phone and said, wait a damn minute, Kirsten Dunst was a kid actor?
Yeah, she absolutely was. Did heaps of stuff. Fantastic in Interview with the Vampire, where she plays a young girl who's turned and then ages, but her body doesn't. It's really interesting. She's great in Bring It On. Bring It On's a great movie. Also got Eliza Dushku in it, which is great. She's solid. I just want to, before we get any further, I've kind of got some notes here on sort of, by what happens, but, want to go through a few things. But the first needs to be Robin.
Yes.
Everybody knows how I feel about Robin Williams. I've even talked about it on the show. He is my spirit animal, and I relate to him so well, being the kind of mind that he had that never turns off, and that eventually when it did start to turn off because of illness, he decided that wasn't how he wanted to live, and sadly took his own life. But and he's he struggles with addiction and fame, and what the difference between people liking what you do and just you liking what you do, and the work and what it means and all that stuff. But when you see him in a movie like this, or Good Will Hunting, or Good Morning Vietnam, like his strength, or Awakenings, which I rewatched recently, his strength as a dramatic actor was, for as talented and skillful as he was as a comedian and an improvisational comedian, his talent as a dramatic actor was, I would put him up there as one of the greats. Absolutely.
That we can see all of his work and just see how incredible he was throughout all of them. I think it makes it a lot harder to live in a world without him. That's kind of how I felt like after watching this. Yeah.
Well, when I was chatting with Charlie the other day, and we were talking about this movie, and I was telling her sort of what Robin Williams meant to me, especially as a kid. Like his Live at the Met was the first comedy show I'd ever seen. Like I didn't understand half of it, but his energy was so clear, and I was drawn to it so much that like if love and joy make the world go round, it spins a little slower without him, he's just a wonderful talent, and I miss him a lot. Like I knew him, which is really strange. But during the making of this film, it was shot in a place called Keene, New Hampshire. Robin Williams was so lovely to the townspeople and the extras and the crew that they got in, all that stuff. They gave him the key to the city.
T1 life.
Yeah, doesn't that just like melt your fucking heart? Like, just makes me feel good. And it nearly didn't happen. Like, the two first choices for this were Bruce Willis.
Horrible film.
Absolutely
horrible
not.
film.
Yeah, horrible movie. And Tom Hanks, which wouldn't have been too bad, but he would go on to do Castaway anyway. But they were both, Tom Hanks was in the middle of doing Apollo 13, and Bruce Willis was doing Die Hard with a Vengeance, so they couldn't commit. But yeah, this movie without Robin's weird.
I honestly, I was so like into the plot watching this. The as soon as Alan comes back, I was like, oh, that's right, he's in it as well.
It's like 23 minutes or something before he turns up, or even more than that, actually. It'd be closer to like 30 or something. But anyway, it's you know, I'm glad it ended up being him. Jumanji is actually Zulu for many effects, which is very cool. I thought that was awesome. And I love how the game dynamics are really well set up. It's like, all right, we know how it works. They kind of explain it, you know, all right, so you start the game, you have to finish. And then when he comes back into it, Kirsten's like, no, it's my turn because he got doubles and rolled again. And now it's when he goes, no, actually, I have to play. The fear in that Dolly shot in on him and he's like, I have to play. This is the game that you started, you know, the game that I started in 1969. Like that was just, you know, he's so shook by it. And you understand that. And okay, so each person gets a go and you can't cheat. Like it sets itself up without them having to give you expositional stuff. Like it just kind of becomes, it's part of the story. Like Constantine, you know, last episode where it's just like, you're in a supernatural world, catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I want to talk a bit about the lion because, or is there notes before that you want to talk about?
No, just keep going. It's fine. We've got plenty of time. This is weird, but my favorite shot of the entire film is the lion paws on the piano. Yeah, me too.
Because it's so real. Like the fur of it, and like you know immediately what it is, and you're just waiting for it to happen. And then when he opens his mouth, and like you can see a bit of it is CG, and a bit of it might be like animatronic, but it looks incredibly real.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an animatronic when it's like sitting on the bed, and I'm not sure what those sort of knuckles, the paws on the keys of the piano are. I don't know if that's all in camera or if there's actual CG stuff being done. So, it's pretty fucking seamless. I do like the line where the kids become a monkey and Alan sort of gives him reason the riot act in the street, and then he realizes what he's doing. Yeah. He's like, 26 years buried in the deepest, darkest jungle, and I still became my father. Like this is a story about fathers and sons. And how... Like, when did you discover? Because it only happened to me probably the last time I watched it, which would have been, 10 or 15 years ago now. But I was still an adult, well into my 30s, I'd say, or definitely my late 20s. How long before you realised that the dad and the fucking hunter, like Van Pelt, are the same actor?
What?
It's happening right now. That's awesome. Live reaction, everyone. Did you not notice that?
I did not.
Yeah, Van Pelt and the guy who plays Alan's father in the flashbacks, or at the beginning of the film and then at the bookend at the end, is the same dude.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, right? One of my other favourite lines is where the spiders attack and she goes, ah! And he's like, what's the matter? Nothing. You don't go, ah, for nothing. And one really, really weird bit is where he says, Peter, go and get my axe from my dad's axe from the shed. And he goes and he picks up the axe to break the lock off the shed door to get in. And then he realizes he's holding the axe and he breaks the fourth wall. Like he spikes the camera. Like that only happens once and it's Monkey Boy. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Ridiculous.
That's not Monkey Boy. Don't be racist like that. That's an ape.
Don't be racist towards monkeys or towards boy monkeys. Or towards Dev Patel. Because of that movie Monkey Man, everybody. Yeah, that was the gag there. I just had to... Not everyone saw Monkey Man, so I thought I'd better explain my joke.
I still haven't seen it, and it depicts my culture.
Sorry? And it depicts your culture. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm surprised because it is really good, and it does have a lot, to do with where you come from. But that's okay. Another time. So I've got kind of now, like, we'll just go through what happens. Giant mosquitoes...
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
They break the windshield with their nose. Who the fuck wants that?
Dude, I mean, no one really. It's such a heightened world as well. Like the jungle of Jumanji is not Africa. It's not an Asian jungle. It's not Vietnam or whatever. It's not a rainforest. It's a fucking weird place where there's weird things that want to eat you and kill you and fuck you and whatever. Like, it's just... It's insane. And mosquitoes, you must deal with this as well. They shit me so much A mosquito buzzing by my ear, like I would rather have fucking rectal surgery. Like it is the most irritating. I'm so like auditorially sensitive rather. Hearing stuff that is not supposed to be heard really bothers me, and that is it's the worst. To have a giant one, no, thank you.
Yep.
We'll come back to. I'm going through these because I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you a question about it at the end. Monkeys. They're pretty fantastic. I mean, I know they don't really hold up, but
that's the
like
charm.
when you see three monkeys riding at a bike and one of them looks mad and he's the one with the gun, that's pretty funny.
No, thank you. I'm still thinking about you saying rectal surgery, man. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be pretty unpleasant under any circumstances, I would wager.
Yeah, but that's...
Anybody out there in the comments have rectal surgery, want to talk about it? I bet we'll get a slew now. Like, we never get normal comments about people just going, I love that movie. It's like, my butt hurts on the reg. Don't isolate that clip, please, everybody. Oh, fuck. Someone's going to put together like a smash cut of weird shit that I've said that out of context will make absolutely no sense.
It'll be me. I'll do it.
It'll be you, yeah. It'll be every second one. Will be fuck my hole. The lion, like you said, is really. These are all how they appear in order, by the way, everybody. What? Oh no, he's off. He's off on a rant.
You said fuck my hole. And he gave me a picture of you doing during a rectal exam, but the doctor like shoves up his hand and he said, fuck my hole.
I would. I absolutely would. I can seldom hold that stuff back sometimes. I've said fuck a few times when I was at the dentist last week, which is why we had to miss an episode, everybody, because I had a bad tooth. There was a few sort of like, like you got 7 fingers in your mouth. I don't know like how she managed that, but she's that while she's doing stuff. I'm like, fuck my hole. Oh, tits and shit. Fucking it. Fuck off. Get fucked. Like it's a bit like that, you know. Sound like Popeye. Are you right, Riggs? Are you having a stroke? What's going on?
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, it sounded a bit that way, didn't it? Yeah. It's got coprolic propensity, I think.
Lions.
Yeah, the lion looks really good. Just that step down onto the piano, and then that's kind of he looms large over the project for the rest of it as well. I think the vines are really good because they not only do they kind of demolish the house, but they also set up the end. Like you kind of need that to happen in order for when they come back to the house, because they're basically chasing this game everywhere and trying to get it done. Like there's a lot less of the actual Jumanjiing than you think there is. A lot of it's, the kind of the fun and games part of it. And then you come back and you've got not only the huge pod thing at the beginning where it first the vines first get introduced, but also then he's like, watch out for the purple flowers with the barbs, and that's really critical to what ends up happening to Kirsten Dunst's character.
Yeah. I feel like their whole like adventure side of things is super fun. But I think that it only works because you care about Alan so much. And that's only because you see him go to the grave and you see him go back to the old factory. You see him recognize the officer. And it's all like it's clicking to you at the same time that it's clicking to Alan. And then he cuts off his beard and he's like, I'm gonna go find my parents. Well, not that, but I'm gonna go have a life now. Yeah,
I'm gonna go and just be who I am. I don't want this anymore. But all the that's the thing about the hero's journey, because it's kind of his hero journey even more than the other two. That you have to take the journey to grow and become who you need to be by the time you get to the end of it. That's the guy who can, be in a relationship with this woman. That's the other question. And it was going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
He went in there as a preteen, and then he comes out and he's in his 40s or whatever. He's supposed to be in his...
late
probably
30s,
40. Yeah, about late 30s or 40s. And Sarah's kind of into him. It's Robin Williams in 1995. He's a good-looking dude. And he's a little bit timid and stuff. He's absolutely a virgin, right? I mean, unless something fucked him in the jungle, which is not out of the realm of possibility, but in the more traditional sense of the word, of not having it be a strange supernatural creature or monkey or whatever else is in Jumanji that they didn't get to, because these are the only things that they got to. There's probably a lot of other fucking shit that goes on in there too.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other people in there. If there's a hunter in there, maybe he's like tribes people and maybe he had sex with one of them. But it seems unlikely is my point.
That is true.
We're going to run the numbers on this, or like people out there in the comments? No, we're just going to keep moving forward? Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I feel like if you want to be a coward about your podcast.
So there's a poor woman who has suffered a lot and has tried to gaslight her own self by making herself think that all of that did not happen. There's a lot going on there that they don't touch on.
Yeah, it's a very full psychically, this film, if you break it down. There's a lot of adult trauma going on, and God bless. Speaking of which, Van Pelt, fantastic, character, which gives a real urgency to things. He's propulsive. He moves things forward really, really specifically. And how he goes into the gun shop. And he's like, I need ammunition. And it's like, they stopped making these in, 19 whatever. And he's like, damn, I need a replacement weapon. And it's like, oh, it'll take a little while and whatever. And he just drops down a whole heap of gold bullion. And the guy's like, I can fill this out. And don't worry about it. Are you a postal worker? Like, here's a fucking rifle you're not allowed to have. I don't know if that's really making too much of a comment on the gun control shit that was going on at the time, but it seems likely. To make an analog character like that digital all of a sudden, if you know what I mean, like in the metaphor of it, is really interesting. How that would happen, and then how that gets sucked. Like, wouldn't that gun stay here? But it gets sucked. Even the bullet gets sucked back into the game at the end.
Yeah, that's true. The bullet gets sucked in.
I don't know. The bullet gets sucked in, and look at your face. Like, there's something there, but I won't investigate it because it might be too rude, and we've got new listeners. The Stampede's really excellent, only because him like running back for the game, and then the wall bookcase thing bursting open with all these animals coming through and stuff. And did you notice at one point at the end of it, not that particular point, but when you have the Stampede going through the streets and there's people fucking like burning the place down and eating chairs and all sorts of shit. You've got the sort of Stampede happen again, and there's one rhino that's kind of left at the back, and it's sort of huffing and puffing. That was a render error. They rendered that rhino at the wrong frame rate, which is why it's behind everybody else. So all they did was add like huffing and puffing as if it was an unfit rhino, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah. That's
so cool.
That's the kind of thing that like, I'm sorry, that's the kind of thing that, I'll come back to you. The kind of thing that AI can't plan for. I was talking about it with someone the other day. Like, there's no spontaneity in that. There's no spontaneity in AI. Like, it's going to do what it's going to do. Whereas happy accidents can sometimes make something so much better. Like, in Brazil, where they had the little model of the guy with the wings, and it went through the smoke, and the little turbines at the back caught the smoke and made it curl in this wonderful loop that went out the back. And Terry Gilliam was like, we didn't plan that. It just happened because we had practical elements on set, and that was what was being done. So, yeah, anyway, regardless of my problems with AI, that was pretty cool.
I also love how the jungle of Jumanji is a rainforest, a cave, the cave for like spiders, and then it's an actual jungle with the lion, because you can't find lions in a fucking rainforest.
No, absolutely not. It's all things, when you think of, the wilderness, they're all in there. I don't think that, he says it's not you saved me for an alligator. No, it's a crocodile. You can tell by this. Like, that's really specific too. You don't have alligators in Africa. The next one is Peter trying to cheat, and he gets turned into a monkey. Sucks for him to be a monkey.
I wouldn't mind that, but yeah, sucks for him, I guess.
You'd make a good monkey, I reckon.
I was going to make a monkey noise, but I won't because it's rude.
The next is great, where we're sort of coming towards like the end where everybody's in on it. The ants start to notice things, and the cops' car's been taken. Fine, take it. All that's happened, and they all know that they have to get back to this house, and they finally retrieve the game, not only from Van Pelt, when there's that fantastic scene in the supermarket, or the whatever it is, the town shop, and he's Peter puts together that great little thing of the weights dropping on the two canisters of compressed air that push Van Pelt back into that wall, and then all the paint falls on him. They're sort of back from the house and that, and they have both the monsoon happen, and then the next one that happens immediately, like, and that's your attack with the crocodile, and you wrestled a crocodile for me, and then she goes to kiss him. He's like, you wrestled an alligator for me. It wasn't an alligator, it was a crocodile. And then he gets stuck in the floorboards. Yeah,
that's my favorite, my favorite effect of the entire film is him, like, both of them getting stuck in the floorboards, and then the fucking spiders attack, and I hated it.
Yeah, because you don't like spiders, or?
Yes, also, who the fuck likes spiders with, like, basketball-sized butts?
Someone's into it.
Spiders?
They're really cool little puppets as well. I don't know. No one's into it. But, I mean, someone's watching that Shelob scene and going, yes. There's definitely... like the creep factor of spiders. Like, I literally wrote in my notes, spiders, absolutely not. Like, it's just not, these things are not okay. They're too big. And he's kind of stuck in the floorboards, and Kirsten Dunst has a turn, and it says, you've got to go back. And that's what gets him stuck into the floor. Like, his turn ends. Like, he wouldn't have been in the floor. He would have, gone to quicksand into the ether or whatever and suffocated to death in floorboards. But just the idea of that, and then you create, like, that's the whole thing about reversals and like upping the stakes in a screenplay as you're going forward. And Jonathan Hensley wrote this. Like, he's a really good writer. Maybe he's not a really good writer, but he's done a lot of really good pictures, like Die Hard with a Vengeance and things that do ramp up. He understands that process of, like, okay, yeah, so they got back to the house, but it's taken over by weeds. And then you've got the monsoon happen, and then he's stuck in the floor. Like, you just keep raising the stakes to the point where they can't even roll the dice. Like, she can't roll the dice because her arms are stuck, so they have to put the dice in her mouth, like, just every time. And then Kirsten Dunst gets hits with the barbs, and then the earthquake happens and it sort of snaps open and the hunter turns up. Like, it's just constantly rolling forward. It's this it's that snowball coming down a mountain that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes an avalanche. And I like that. I like that construction. I like the way that that's put together.
Yeah, because you can see, like, where it started and, like, how it's progressed.
Yeah, and that it's gotten consistently worse each time. Like, every time something happens, it's like, oh, fuck, it's the next thing. And then you get the fantastic, moment of, like, take it like a man. And he drops the dice. You got any last words? And he says Jumanji and nearly gets shot. And the whole thing sort of gets sucked back in. And, yeah, we end up at the end. At the beginning. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. In the beninging. And I fucking love it.
I'm so sorry.
In the beninging.
I have
to do it. My friend showed me that for the first time, and I was just about to go into a meeting, I was crying with laughter. I had to wait a few minutes, and I was late to the meeting. In the beninging. And I said it to my dad, and he loves it. Anyway. Enough of the beninging. But they remember, Alan and Sarah remember what happened. Like, imagine, and she kind of alludes to the fact that once they throw throwing it in the water, fine, fantastic, with bricks, congratulations. Why don't they fucking burn it?
I don't think you can, actually.
It's made out of wood and stuff.
True.
I mean, it seems pretty indestructible.
Yeah. It definitely does seem pretty indestructible. But also, it's all because of the fucking people who thought it would be a good idea to bury it. That's not a safe thing to do.
I make the argument that dropping it into water isn't great either.
Yeah, but it's better than burying it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, someone's going to find it. I guess that's a someone else's problem kind of situation. Fuck them. But then, you do see it at the end. It's in the sand and you hear the drums and, like, what's that? And you're like, oh, shit, new adventures. It's all going to happen. Yeah, it's you see that, and she sort of says there's that supernatural part of it, and she's like, I'm starting to forget what it's like to be an adult, and give you a kiss before I forget. And then they end up together, and the Christmas party years later, and she's pregnant, and they have that great sort of moment with the kids before the film actually ends proper. I don't know if it's brave is the right word because it's just a movie, but I don't feel like you would get away with that now.
Oh no, there will be 100 sequels attached to that one film.
Well, not even that, just that you would... You're right, you are right about that, but more that they would be like, oh no, we need to everybody needs to remember, and then the kids need to be part of it, and you know, all that stuff. Like, you remove their agency completely because they don't even know that it's happened. I mean, their parents are still alive and everything, so they met out all right. But do you know what I mean? Like, it removes the adventure almost entirely. Like, none of that happened.
Yeah.
They did it in Prince of Persia as well, the film that they made some years ago with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sands
and
of
that kind
Time.
of resets. Yeah, that's right. Which is actually quite a fun movie. But I told you about the Umbaka. But yeah, it was just not. I'd forgotten that completely. Honestly, I couldn't remember how that it ended. I was like, yeah, that's the shit. I like that. That's smart writing. That's really it's cliffhanger writing at its best. You know.
Yeah, there was a moment I thought that the kids know, but then they show the parents. I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen. But I like that Alan and Sarah remember.
Yeah, I think that's important. You know, and that they're like, oh my god, it's them, and the kids come up and they know that the parents died in a skiing accident as well.
Yeah, she comically just yells out, "No!"
Yeah, no, we need you to get started on those accounts right away. Too good. Yeah. God bless everybody involved. It's an excellent picture. You should go and check it out. Do you have any final thoughts on the Jumanji before we get to questions?
Jumanji is kind of like a time capsule. It's the kind of film that you wouldn't see made today. It's the kind of film that, irrespective of having seen it before or not, would make you feel some sort of nostalgia. And it's surprisingly emotional in moments that it needs to be.
Good call. Very, very good point. Well made. It does have that. I would just say, give this a go over the other ones. Like, I know that there's some more modern ones, but let your kids watch this. You're not too young, because there's a bit some scary parts. I mean, even Robin Williams wouldn't show his kids them. But yeah, it's well worth your time. It's well worth a revisit. Jumanji, 1995 rather. Fantastic. I know we have questions because I saw them in the chat. Do you want to throw them up, and I'll do the question theme right now. Oh, actually, no, I had to ask you the question. Before we go to questions, I have to ask you, if you had to endure one of those things, which one would it be? So there's giant mosquitoes, monkeys, lions, tigers, bears, oh my. So, no, sorry. Lions, vines, Van Pelt, the stampede, becoming a monkey, the monsoon, the quicksand, spiders, earthquake.
Becoming a monkey, 100%.
You would rather be, but like, it's permanent. 4 at this point, I think.
How do you not know that I love Tails? Like, not
that's true.
Not the Sonic character Tails, which is fun too. It's also surprising that that's. Never mind. That's off topic.
But no, it was a really good thread. I was following you. It was like, oh yeah, fucking Tails from that. He's got 2 tails and he uses it like a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like, he really brought some shit back.
Yeah, but it's also the Tails character is voiced by a woman. So I thought that it was like a female hedgehog. Apparently, it's not. And I was.
It's a fox, isn't
it? I guess so. But also, can you
with a deformity?
You wouldn't call that a deformity. I wouldn't call it a deformity.
Having 2 tails.
Yes.
I think if you were in the fox community, you might be shunt.
The best part about being any animal is having a tail. You have 2 of them. That's heaven, my friend. You've won it.
That's. You have a weird definition of heaven. Okay, so yeah, you become a monkey then.
Yes. How about you?
I like the idea of you getting to the gates of heaven, and there's, St. Peter or whoever greets you, and he's like, "Hello, how are you doing? So happy to have you here. Here's your tail. I beg your pardon. Yeah, everybody gets a tail when they come in. It's fucking awesome. You can have a drink and hold a bag of chips and use a remote all at the same time. It's really helpful.
I was going to say something, but
and you can throw poo at people as well if you like.
Yep.
What did you say? Sorry.
I was going to say something, but I shouldn't.
That's all right. All good. So, okay. Well, if that's the case, I think I would probably like to be... Stampede's probably good because it's over quickly, but you might die. But then you might die with all of them. Monsoon, because I quite like the water. Silly. What were you going to say? What did you want to do before we finish?
You want to go sip on top 3 moments or favorite moments?
Yeah, absolutely. Sip. Yeah, I just love that line. For me, it's going to be lines, I think. I just love that line where he's like, why is he after you? And I don't know, everything about me he seems to find offensive. You'd think it'd be a waste of his time. Like, I just think that's really, really smart. It's a very well delivered. It's Robin. Robin does that line. Like, it's less the character than it is Robin. So yeah, I like that a lot.
My favorite line is is when he comes out and he chases Peter, and Peter gets scared. And he's like, "Thank you, you saved my life. Sorry if I scared you. It's such an endearing moment. And in any other film, you wouldn't have that character say sorry if I scared you. But it's so like it's little moments like that, like just like he's trying to build like irrespective of him wanting it or not, he's building a relationship with these kids. And it's just who he is. Like he's not like a big fucking jerk. Like he's a nice kind of person who's just happy that he's free.
But also, like, you have to understand that he comes from a place where fear is all he's known for decades, and he's living in this place where everything's either trying to kill him or fuck him, apparently, and it is. There's huge, big plant things that kill you. There's barbs on everything. There's heaps of vines and stuff. All the animals are trying to fuck me. Like, this sucks here. It sucks here in Jumanji. I fucking hate it. That kind of thing. So, of course, he looks at children and goes, "Oh, you must be afraid because that's all I was. There's been no joy in my life. No happiness, no peace at all." So, yeah, I totally get that. My number 2 is probably the 3 monkeys on the police vehicle, with one of them's with a pistol. That's pretty fun, and they just look at it like, what the fuck is going on? Like, yeah, really, really great.
Yeah. Also, I don't think the monkey Luke... the monkey Luke? Cool. That's Luke Skywalker with a monkey tail. Look it up.
The monkey Luke? Monkey Luke, you've got to go to the Dagobah system. Fuck a Dagobah system. Anyway, sorry. Please continue.
I don't think the monkeys look that horrible. It's a product of its time, but it doesn't like take away from the film at all.
It doesn't look any better or worse than anything else in the place. That's done CG. Like, the practical stuff looks better because practical stuff looks better. But yeah,
the vines and the bud opening up with the tongue inside. That was pretty fun.
It's excellent. It's really, really well done. I love it.
I was thinking about this the entirety of the time that I was watching the film, and then I completely forgot about it until right now. But this is the most Steven Spielberg, un-Steven Spielberg film. Like, this is a film that he would make.
Yeah, Joe Johnston, I think, was a second unit director for him at one point, if I'm not mistaken. He was an art director under Spielberg. He worked on Indiana Jones picture, at least one of them.
That makes so much more sense.
The visual effects director as well on Raiders, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica. So yeah, he's definitely in the Spielberg camp.
My favorite part, one of my favorite parts is the officer. Sorry, I forget the character's name, but it's the officer who's he's handcuffed to the door, and then you see him walk with the door in the mall and try to saw it off.
And get the hacksaw to take off the cuffs. Yeah, he's great. I like that actor a lot. He was on In Living Color. Yeah, he's actually responsible for my favorite part in the whole film.
Which is?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished. Where the vine comes out and takes his car, but it's like he's sitting in the car, and the vine comes out, and he's like, ah, like he's got this really weird scream, and it like takes it perfect beat of time after it goes to the bush. Fine, take it. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of incongruous to the rest of the comedy that goes on in the film. Like, it's a little bit more. That's a proper comedy line. Yeah, like that's Jumanji's not a comedy picture by any stretch of the imagination, but that is a real comedy line. So I'd just forgotten about it until it happened, and I cacked myself. So. Yeah,
that like scream reminded me of once again. Do you remember in Babylon where they're taking the elephant up the mountain, and the driver gets hit by the trunk. And he's just yelling in the car while the elephant is just pooping on the other people.
Still a good movie. Well worth your time. Excellent. What's your number one?
It's gonna be weird, but it's seeing Robin Williams dressed up as Santa. It feels perfect.
It's satisfied something in you. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a good Santa, definitely. Wicked. All right. Well, let's get to some darn questions then. We'll get out of here.
Oh, one of them is from the producer of Till the End of the Line podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
I think that's Juan's wife, isn't it?
Yep. How well do you think you'll do in all those challenges?
Oh, I'm dead number one. Like I choke on one of the dice before we even start playing. Like my luck, I'm so clumsy, and it sucks. You know what I mean? Like I'm such a huge klutz. Like I'm sorry, there's a lion here. That's it. I'm good night, Vienna. Like I'm out. So not very well at all, my friend.
Good night, Vienna is perfect.
I don't know where I got that from. It's just something that I say is like that's the end of life. I don't know. Absorbed it from somewhere. I'm such a mongrel. What do you reckon? You get to monkey and that's it. You tap out. You're like I'm a monkey now. I'm going to swing the fuck off with my new tail. I'm in heaven.
But yeah, there is no way that I'm stupid enough to be alive until the spiders show up, which I wouldn't want to be alive for that either. Because oh my god,
I like the idea of all of this shit's happened, all of this this cacophonous eruptions of earth going on around you, and monsoons and huge lions and monkeys that are armed, and all of this stuff's happened, and then all of a sudden spiders turn up, and you're like, nope, and you literally dive out of a window, and that's it. You're not in the movie anymore. Like, what the fuck happened to Addy?
It's a Scott Pilgrim scene where he just dives out of the window.
He dives out the window. Yeah, he's not here right now. Like, that's exactly it. Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm dead. I'm dead as soon as the fucking lion shows up. Oh no, I'm probably dead when the mosquitoes show up. Yeah,
so early doors, me and you, we're out. We're not Jumanjiing for very long, that's for sure. We get Jumanji'd. Terrific. What about, what's the second question? I know it's from Chaz, my main man.
Oh, yeah.
Hope the film's going well, brother.
He's in Japan at the moment. Or I think.
Doing the movie? Or?
No, he's doing some sword fighting lessons, I believe.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know that he's doing prep for the movie, so awesome.
Yeah.
Go on, Chaz. Our friend Chaz is making a movie. That's very cool. He is a windswept and interesting, intrepid voyageur, that young man. Young man, he's probably 58, I don't know. Text me, Chaz. How old are you?
I think Chaz is timeless.
He is. I mean, a lot of Chazes are. So that was a joke about our last episode where Chaz Kramer becomes an angel. But you hadn't seen the stinger for Constantine until after the fact, right? Where it's Chaz the angel. Yeah, it's just like, well, that happened. You know, that was what's up. There's not even a hint at another movie. It's just like Chaz is an angel now. And then he went to Japan to learn how to sword fight. Or teach other people. I don't know what the situation is. But what's his question, more importantly?
What board game would make an interesting series? Example choice, Strategio?
Okay, so like a TV series based around a board game, and he's saying Strategio. I've heard of that one, Chaz, but I don't know it. We don't have it here. That's a very American kind of thing. I don't know what you do in that game. I'd say Battleship, but they've already done that. Hungry Hippos, but it's a porno and they want real balls, like each other's. You know, hippo porn is what I'm suggesting.
So bestiality, but it's legal. No,
it's not bestiality,
oh my God.
because they're all hippos. Yeah. So like, it's fine. You know, they're just hippos having sex.
Yes.
That's not my answer, by the way. I'm going to come up with one, but I haven't yet. Guess who? But it's like a clue kind of situation. Like, yeah, okay, you're guessing, but it's also a mystery. Like whoever the person it is that you end up having, who's got, you know, red hair and a big nose or whatever the situation might be, that person also fucking murdered somebody. Yeah, and the person uses the guess who thing like that's the calling card of like, you've got to guess who I am, and it's like taunting the police. That's a pretty... But I mean, look what they did with Battleship. It's like, in Battleship, they're not aliens, so whatever. I'll do what I want.
Are they not? Don't they like pull out aliens from their...
Yeah, no, in the movie they're aliens,
okay.
but in the game Battleship, it's just you and some other dude, like, you know, going B12 or whatever, and then you suck my battleship. That's my favourite gag from Batman Forever, where he's like, B12, hit, and my favourite vitamin, I might add. It's a good movie. Check out my episode that I did with the Sequel Suck Guys on Batman Forever, actually. It's also like a Val Kilmer retrospective a little bit too. We talk about a lot of stuff, so that came out on YouTube recently. Me and the lads. What about you? What do you reckon about games?
Well, mine has already had a successful movie, but I would love for them to have more, which is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, it's a fucking board game. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon they'll do more in that vein?
I want them to, because it's very personal and very selfish, but it was a good movie.
It was a really good movie. I fucking loved it. I thought that was like one of my top favourite movies of that year.
Yeah, I watched it 57 times the following year.
57? That's like fucking Clerks with the dicks. 27. Yeah, it's well worth a flutter, that one. Give us a sequel, come on.
Yeah. Also, the practical effects in that are also so cool. Like, all the Dragonborns and the Arakakos are amazing. I love how nobody will ever get what I just said, but it's cool.
No, we've got plenty of D&D fans out there. I'm positive about it. There's people doing it everywhere you turn. It's in people's lives. I think it's even had a resurgence, not just because of the movie, but just think that there's people out there, maybe post-COVID, who just started investing in this stuff and like, fuck, this shit is... If Deborah Ann Wall's talking about it and she manages to get John Bernthal, Academy Award nominated actor John Bernthal, to come in and play a game, it's mainstream. Forget about it.
Yeah. It's also, I'm going to go off a tangent here, but we're at the end of the show. So it's also D&D, by its nature, is a fantasy world made for escapism. Oh, and we need a lot of that right now. Like, a lot.
The real world's starting to get more apocalyptic every day, but the only remedy for that, the only balm for that, is try and be kind to each other. Make decisions from your heart and not your head. Remember that the time that you have here is really, really finite, and you got to do the best with it you can, and let other people do what they want to do with their time as well. Stop judging each other. Sorry, that was just a little introspection there.
No, that's all right. I had a really fun moment in one of my games last week. Where one of my friends was...
You grew a tail.
No, but I do have a character that has a tail. They're fucking amazing.
Of course you fucking do. Of course you do.
And they have purple skin and can teleport. Guess where I got that from?
I can't imagine, because I've never read a comic book.
Yeah.
He lied.
He lied with his white teeth.
He lied with his wall of white teeth. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I had this amazing...
You had an interesting moment?
I had this amazing moment with in my game where one of my friends was playing a sorcerer. He's like he's very insecure, so he kind of stutters a lot. The character, not the player. But while devising a plan to evade as a sandworm that was in a rainforest for some reason, because my head doesn't work sometimes. Shit happens, man.
I'm following you. It all makes sense.
The sorcerer was stuttering a lot while making a plan, and the two other players were trying to cut him off and everything. And one of my players, in character, said, "No, wait, let him finish." And that was it was really fun because for me,
awesome.
I star a lot, except when I'm DMing, which is insane.
Good. I'm glad. Keep it up. And while you're keeping it up, also keep up listening to this show, everybody. We really do appreciate you. We hope you come back next week when we're talking about Zathura. We're doing a series of these kind of movies, the third of which is Tomorrowland, which doesn't really match, but it's whatever. What would be the alternative? Fucking Battleship, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, let's not do Battleship, please.
No, I don't, because it's a positive show. We don't want to do something that we don't want to talk about. So Zathura is going to be great, and then we'll close out this sort of this Euclidean cycle with our one of my favorites, which is Tomorrowland. It's a really underrated film. Great picture by Brad Bird. But in the meantime, go and check out Jumanji again. It's well worth your time. We appreciate you out there. We love you, and we hope that you're well and you're looking after yourself and each other. And do come back next week. Addie, you're so special.
I love you. I don't have a tail, so I'm not that special.
I love you too. It's only a matter of time. If you wish it, it is no dream. So one of these days you'll get it.
That's some Grant Morrison shit right there.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was Lennon, but yeah. We'll see you next week, and remember,
stay amazing, stay safe, and if you hear the drums, it's time to run.